Good morning, students. Today we will see 17 Oranges by Bill Norton. In this story, the narrator speaks about his love for oranges. Let us see in detail. Oranges, I was fond of them. I used to eat them all day and every day. But one day, a policeman found 17 oranges hidden away in my packets. He locked me up, and I have never eaten an orange again. When he is fond of orange, he used to eat every day. But when a police found him hiding 17 oranges in his packets, he was taken into lockup. From then, he has never eaten an orange. I wanted story. I was driving a little pony and cart for this. I will tell you the story. I was driving a little pony and a cart for the Swift Delivery Company, and I often went in and out of docks. I was not really a thief, but I usually left the dogs with something under my apron. I had made the apron myself, and it was a big one. When there was a boat in the docks, I drove my little cart beside it. Here, the narrator says in this, he doesn't like so much of. Uh, I was not really a thief, but I usually left the dogs with something under the apron. I made the apron myself, and it was a big one. When there was a banana boat in the docks, I drove my little cart beside it. Sometimes a bunch of bananas fell to the ground. Often my friends kicked a bunch to me from the boat. I always picked up the bananas quickly and hid under my apron. Then I sat the rest of the day eating bananas. I liked bananas, but I liked orange best of all. Here, the author says that though he likes bananas, the more which he like is orange. The only took I only took things when I found them, but some people plan the theft very carefully. Clem Jones was a careful planner. Let me tell you about Clem. One day, Clem was coming out of the docks. He was carrying a box. "What do you have in here?" asked Pongo, the policeman. "A cat," replied Clem. "Please don't make me open the box. The cat will run away." "A cat?" Pongo said. "I don't believe you. Open the box, but the cat will run away," Clem said again. "There isn't a cat in the box," replied Pongo. "Open it up." Clam got very angry, but finally opened his box. Out of out jumped a ship's cat. The cat ran back into the docks. Clem ran after that. He was shouting angrily. 2 minutes later, Clem came back with the same box. He was holding the lid tightly. Pongo laughed at him, and Clem looked at him furiously. Clem looked angrily all the way home. Then he smiled. He opened the box in the kitchen and took out a large Dutch cheese. That was Clem's story. Here he says about another man, Clem, where Clem hid a cat under one of the box. And when a policeman asked what is there in the box, "Please open," he said, "It is just a cat. If I open, the cat will run away." But the policeman said, "No, it is not a cat. I know it is not a cat. Please do open the box." Then when he opened, a cat ran away. He went behind the cat, but he brings out another box with cheese in it, so he has planned to steal the cheese. That is why he made all this drama, so that the next time when he go back with the same box, no one will doubt him. That's the main reason. 2 minutes later, Kem came back with the same box, but he was having a large Dutch cheese inside that. But I was not so lucky. Pongo, the policeman, caught me red-handed because my apron string broke. He noticed that my trouser pockets were somewhat bulging. He says that he was got red-handed by policeman because the stink of the apron broke, and here also the policeman noticed that his pants were heavy. Hey, wait a minute, Pongo shouted. He caught me by the collar, took me into his cabin nearby, and looked into my pockets. There were 17 oranges. Pongo counted them and placed them carefully on the table. So he sings the policeman caught him and counted how many oranges he tried to steal, and it was 17 in number, and placed all of them in the table. Too many! Are you stealing from the dogs? Pongo said. You have stolen these oranges and concealed them in your pocket. Have you anything to say? Here he asked, there are many oranges. I think you are trying to steal that. Do you want to say anything that doesn't belong to you like that? I said nothing. I was very frightened but kept quiet. I had read a lot of detective stories to make a mistake of blabbering. Here he says that he doesn't want to get caught, so he had read many detective stories that if he says something, we'll get caught. So he just remained silent. So, you won't say anything, said Pongo. And anything when you say it can be turned against you as an evidence. So, he planned to say nothing. So, you won't say anything, said the policeman. I'm going to bring another policeman here. He'll witness against you. And I'll bring... the policeman doesn't have any evidence against him for stealing it. He just has 17 oranges with him that is placed on the table. So the policeman said, I'll bring one more policeman so that you'll be caught. Then Pongo left the cabin and locked the door behind. I looked at the walls. I looked the door. I looked at the 17 oranges. I looked at the apron with its broken sink. I lose my job, I thought. Perhaps I'll go to prison. What will my father say? Maybe I can lose my job because of this. Maybe I can go to jail. But if I go to jail, what will my father tell me? I almost gave up the hope of escaping the trouble. I locked in the cabin and the oranges were on the table. Pongo had gone to bring a witness. I was in trouble. He thought before the witness come to see me, I should do something. Oh my God, I said. What can I do? Eat the oranges, said my voice inside the head. Eat the evidence. Eat them. I asked. Yes, said the voice in my head. Eat them and the evidence will be gone. Be quick, eat them all. That is, in order to save himself, his brain said, eat all the oranges that are kept on the table. I thought half a second, then I took an orange, I peeled it, put it in my mouth. Soon opened the pips were left, only the pips were left. You have to swallow the pips too, said the voice in my head. You have to swallow the pips and the peel. You have to swallow all the evidence. Yes, of course, I said. I swallowed the pips and put some of the peel in my mouth. Don't eat it, said the voice. There isn't time. Swallow it. Be quick. Swallow it. I took a small knife from my pocket and cut the oranges into large chunks. I swallowed the pieces of oranges one after the other. There were still 3 oranges on the table. I heard Pongo outside. I stopped. Be quick. Swallow it, said the voice in my head. I was lucky. Pongo and the other policeman had seen some carts at the dockgate. They went and talked to the drivers. This gave me a few more minutes. I must swallow all the oranges. I thought only 3 left. I swallowed the first one, then the second one. Suddenly the door began to open. I went through a great deal of struggle and finally managed to finish off the last piece of the last orange. Pongo and the other policemen walked in. This is the thief, Pongo said. I caught him with the pockets full of orange. That is, Zena voice said that eat all the oranges on the table, including its peels, everything, so that you will not be caught. Even swallowed everything. His mind said, just don't eat it, swallow it, because there is less time in his with him. He has to eat the pips and the peels also in order to clear all the evidences. So he has, though after eating for 14 oranges, his stomach was nearly full, but he has to eat one more three more because he may get caught with that. Uh, Somehow he ate all the 17 oranges before Pongo brings the other policeman. The Pongo looked at the table at first. He could not figure out what had happened. Where are the oranges? I can smell, said the other policeman. I said nothing. Pongo looked everywhere for the oranges. He looked in my pockets, he looked in my apron. He didn't find one orange. Finally, Pongo understood what had happened, but it was very difficult to believe. 17 oranges, he said. 17 big oranges. How did you eat them all? I said nothing. Pongo was not able to send me to prison. There was no evidence. Pongo became angry and shouted at me, but I didn't say a word. In the end, he let me go. I told Clem Jones about the 17 oranges. Pongo locked you in that cabin for half an hour, said Clem. He had no right to do that. Perhaps Clem was right. I don't know. I have time to think about it. I've eaten 17 large oranges, peels and pips of all. I felt very sick for a week and those oranges kept working in my stomach. Here he said, when the policeman Pongo brought other policeman and the other policeman did not find even any evidence of there was 17 oranges. Pongo became very angry. Slowly he began to understand that he ate all the oranges. He said, 17 oranges, how can you eat them so fast? But again, the narrator remained quiet and Pongo became much furious and said, it was 17 oranges and you eat 17 large oranges with peels, everything. He searched his pockets to search, at least he'll get the peels of it, but he didn't get anything. And when he released, he went to meet Clem. He said, how can Pongo lock you half an hour in a room? And how did you let this do? Though it was wrong, he had no other go. But he said, though Clem was right, I don't know. I should have time to think about it. Now I swallowed all the 17 large oranges with peels and pips, which made him sick for a week. And he had kept that all that kept working in him. About the author, William John Francis Naughton is well known as Bill Naughton. He was an Irish-born British playwright. He worked as a weaver, coal bagger, and lorry driver before started writing. He wrote many novels, short stories, plays, and children's books. His best known for the play Alfie. In 1977, children's novel My Pal's Paget is an account of his childhood in 1920s Bolton. Thank you, students. Now I now I'll play you the short summary of it. Try to read all that. I'll send you this PPT, but before that, try to answer the questions, book back questions.